You're the new president of MountainWest Capital Network. This is the first full-time president that the group has ever had. Explain what your job is and what you hope to do as the first full-time person in this position.
The MountainWest Capital Network was formed 25 years ago with the intent to foster entrepreneurial and business success in the state of Utah. And my goal is to make sure that we do that well. That's my charge with the organization, is to help us help entrepreneurs succeed. And we do that through four methods. We are a networking organization. There's great power in networking with bright, connected people, the kind of people who can help you foster your organization and solve your entrepreneurial and business problems. The ways that we foster entrepreneurial success is through networking. Everybody has had the experience of getting a job or making some significant connection in their life through someone that they know. If someone wants to move their connections beyond just their friends and family and neighbors to other businesses that have the knowledge or the contacts that they need to further their career, further their business connections, they can do that through the MountainWest Capital Network. Our members know everybody that there is to know in the state. In fact, one of our members said that she read an article about the 100 must-know people in Utah business, and she went through the article and highlighted the people that she had met in her first few months with the MountainWest Capital Network. 80 of the 100 must-know people in the state she had met through the MountainWest Capital Network. We do that through educating and mentoring one another in excellence, and we do that through events that we do, that we sponsor, and we do that through those mentoring connections. A business that is growing at some point has to move beyond the pocketbook of the owner in order to grow to its capacity, and so that might be through an investment from an angel investor who is an investor who has money and expertise to lend to the enterprise, through a venture capitalist, through a loan with a bank like Zions Bank, or through going public with their companies, selling stock in the stock market, and we recognize those deals in our deal flow report. Also, often those deals are put together when one person comes to one of our meetings and says to another person in our organization, our organization needs to grow, we're looking for financing, who would you recommend that we go to? We know all the people that you need to know to put together the financing in your organization. And then finally, we recognize excellence with our organization. For example, our Entrepreneur of the Year recognizes someone who has not only been successful in their own enterprise, but has turned around and helped others be successful. And that's the essence of the message of the MountainWest Capital Network. Facilitate your success by facilitating the success of other people. And we also sponsor the Utah 100 Awards, which recognizes the 100 fastest growing companies in the state. It recognizes the top revenue companies in the state, and we also recognize the emerging elite, which are young companies that are just on the horizon and are destined for great growth. And so those are the things we do at the MountainWest Capital Network to contribute to the success of business in the state.
Talk a little bit about the economy is in recession. Mm-hmm. Some people are saying it won't start to recover until September of 2009. Maybe not even start seeing that until 2010. How important is your organization now, given the fact that the economy is struggling? And there are people out there with great ideas who want to start a business, but they may not know who to talk to, or they may not be able to find the right people to talk to. How important is your group given that environment?
In great times, almost anybody can have a measure of success, and that's both good and bad. In more difficult times like these, success is very uneven. Ronald Reagan used to say that if the economy rises, a rising tide floats all boats, but that's not exactly true. Even in times like now, when many organizations are failing. Even in bad industries, the best prosper. So if you look at our economic circumstances right now, the national economy is a mess, and yet in Utah our unemployment rate is half of the national unemployment rate. We're much more prosperous in the state. Why is that? Because we are more innovative and more productive in the state of Utah. Within an industry, some prosper and some fall away. The worst companies and many of the average companies go out of business, but the best prosper. For example, 15,000 people have lost their job in the construction industry. One of my friends is building a new house. I said to him, boy, I'll bet now is a great time to get good prices from contractors. And what he said was, oh no, Lex, if you want to build a house and build it right, the only people left are the ones who are good at their job, and their prices are exactly the same as they were last year and the year before. The best prosper, the worst die, and many of the average don't survive as well. And so the real key for any individual or any organization is to focus on excellence, to focus on being the best that you can be. Now, you can try and do that all by yourself, but two heads are more than twice as good as one head. You can work on being successful, or you can go out and find somebody who's already been successful and get them to mentor you. You can, for me, the two stories I think of, one of them is my $500 door. As a landlord, I thought I would replace a broken rental door myself. I could have hired somebody to do it for $100, or I could do it myself for $50. And cheap guy that I am, I tried to do it myself. Well, I went and had the door made. I came and tried to hang it, and the hinges were on the wrong side. So now I had to take it back, and there was time and money involved in that. I came to my duplex, and I hung the door, and it fit. And I thought, well, now I'll paint it, but I don't want to take it off. That'll be too much effort. So I put paper underneath the door, and I got a can of stain and went to stain the door, and I dropped the can of stain. The stain splashed all across the room, so now I got to replace the door and the carpet, and I turned a $50 door into a $500 door, and that's not in the good way. So you can do it yourself and think you're saving a little money, or you can go out and find an expert who can help you do it right. When you're starting a business, you want to be connected to the people who really know what they're doing.
You're the first person to have this position as a full-time position for MountainWest Capital Network. Mm-hmm. Give me a couple of things that you need to get done right away, things that only a full-time person can do, and then what are some things you want to do, just a couple of things that you want to do given the luxury of being in a full-time position like this.
What we do at the MountainWest Capital Network, we do really, really well, but not everyone understands the value of it. Not everybody understands the value of networking. I said that every job I've received in my career, except for the 3 terms when I worked at the BYU bookstore Photoshop, I got that job through a connection. I was the sales agent on the largest industrial real estate transaction in the state in 1999 because I had dinner with a friend who said, you should look into this deal. But until 6 months ago, I didn't even know that I got those opportunities through networking. The concept of networking hadn't entered my head, even though I'd been right in the midst of it my whole life. So my first objective is people to understand the power of making friends with the people who can benefit you. It's not a mercenary, not in a mercenary way. It's just a matter of make friends beyond the people that you would meet every day. Come to our meetings, meet bright, connected, expert people who can help you be better at what you do so that you're one of the excellent companies in these difficult times, not one of the dying companies or the average companies. You want to be one of the expert people.